What's up guys, Kyle here. Now I'm currently working on putting together the review of this phone, but before I did, I just wanted to make a completely separate video highlighting the top 5 worst features of this phone. For my opinion, I don't recommend you go out and buy this phone, so I wanted to make a completely separate video showcasing the 5 things that are wrong with this phone, so you can better understand my review and other people's review and see if you can live with these problems with this phone. Alright, now the first thing that's really terrible about this phone is its GPS, which seems to be the case on a lot of other Blue phones. We used it for navigation for a 3-hour trip we took to Disney, and the GPS was so terrible, I think it caught on for maybe 5 minutes, and then we had to use Google Maps offline feature and just kind of navigate throughout it ourselves turn by turn. But it was constantly off, and then it would stay off, and it would notify me that, hey, location lost. And on all other previous Blue phones that I've reviewed, has been the case on a lot of them. I don't know what it is. Another thing that's really terrible is the call quality on this phone. People on the other end say it really sound terrible, and also sometimes I'll get random drop calls with an LTE connection, and I never have less than 3 bars. So the call quality is very, very terrible on this phone, more so than any other phone that I've ever used. Now, one of the 3 uses that I get out of this phone is listening to music while I'm at work, texting, and making phone calls. Those are the 3 most important things to me when I use a phone of any sort, no matter what. And of those 3, Pandora is what I use to listen to my music, sometimes Spotify. But I would have random iterations of me listening to Pandora and it freezing, and I'm thinking that it's buffering in my pocket. So when I go to unlock the phone is frozen. And maybe 5 seconds pass by, it unlocks, and then the music resumes playing. So Pandora will constantly cause this phone to freeze while it's in idle mode with the screen off in my pocket. And I would say it's every 4 minutes that this would happen. So every song I would notice just a stop, when listening on Wi-Fi with very good connection. But when the screen's on, it doesn't really happen. I can leave the screen on for a couple songs, it doesn't happen. But when the screen goes into sleep, maybe it's something to do with the processor, or maybe this can be fixed in an update, but it's actually really bad and very annoying. Now, of this phone, it has a 2050 milliamp hour battery, which is not good for a phone of this caliber, but it does have a low clocked Snapdragon 410 processor, an economy processor. Now, there is some battery drain when this phone is in use and when it's not in use. The phone will be sitting idle, and I will just notice significant battery drain, and Android OS will be the top culprit, which doesn't really tell much. That's not evidence of any specific issue. That has to be fixed by the manufacturer. So there's random battery drain constantly on the phone. Alright, now this one it's a very specific issue, but I would notice every morning when I would hit the snooze on my alarm, I would have a missed alarm. When I would hit the snooze, it would vibrate once, make one audible tone, and that's it. And then the alarm would shut off, and I missed actually a couple days of work because of this. It would happen every time the alarm went off. The subsequent alarm would only ring once and then completely stop, sometimes not waking me up. Now, this is the built-in clock app. Maybe it has something to do with, as I was saying before, with Pandora and the phone being in sleep mode. Maybe the phone is just constantly trying to go to deep sleep when it really shouldn't be. Alright, so there you have it. Those are the top 5 worst things about this phone. Once again, I recommend you do not go out and buy this phone. $130. I'll go over it more in my review in depth as to the pros and cons of this phone, but I definitely do not recommend you go out and get it. Alright, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, and like this video if you like. Leave a comment below on what do you think I should do in my next video, or phone I should review next. Thanks, guys. Bye.